I just got really distracted by Tumblr, and there are about 10 minutes of absolute nothing recorded before this. That's gonna be great. This week's question comes from my website. Looks like my hand's down my pants. It's not. Hands where you can see them. So me and my boyfriend want to get more intimate. We are both virgins, and I was wondering who tops. Is it more pleasurable to penetrate or be the penetratee? Which position do you prefer? That's me. So sometimes we need to ask ourselves, is it always about tips and bottoms? So first of all, I would like to say that your question is totally valid, and it seems to be coming from an honest place, so I'm going to assume you are not trolling me. And second of all, the frustration that I will be expressing in this video is not directed towards you, but more so some ideas surrounding this topic. It's about to get really intense. This is not a black and white issue. There are many shades of gray, and I am not talking about that shitty book. Some people seem to have this idea that folks are either tops or bottoms in a relationship, and that is just not always the case. In fact, there are as many different types of sexual relationship roles as there are relationships in the world, and every single one of those has a different dynamic. Some relationships are 50-50 versatile. Some people may bottom in one relationship and top in another relationship. Some people do not participate in anal sex at all, and then there is every single type of relationship in between. Furthermore, let it be known that all of these things are okay and perfectly valid. Sometimes people in our society place unnecessary stigmas and stereotypes on different sexual roles in relationships, and that is something that sadly I'm sure we have all been guilty of at one point or another, because it is something that our society has tried to make us believe. And just because you are topping doesn't mean you act or dress a certain way, and it doesn't mean you're the man of the relationship, and just because you bottom doesn't mean you are the woman of the relationship. Attaching any sort of preconceived societal norm to words like man and woman is just stupid. Furthermore, the ideas of submissive and dominant are in no way attached to any gender identifications. And actually, I believe that attaching any of these societally induced roles to gender is so beyond archaic and unfounded that it is not even something that we should be considering in this day and age. I really think that it is such a fault in human thinking that words like masculine and feminine even exist. Now, that may not have been specifically part of your question, but I do think that it was still relevant. And all of that being said, asking whether topping or bottoming is more pleasurable is like asking everyone in the world to agree on their favorite color. It's just not gonna happen. If you think about it, if one was better than the other, then everyone would always want to do this one and not this one. And that is obviously not the case. You will have to discover for yourself what you like to do best sexually, and the best way to do that is to try the things that you want to try. When I lost my virginity, my boyfriend and I communicated about things beforehand, and he was already experienced, so we talked about what I would like to do and what we would explore. And I really think communication is the key. It's nice when your first time is with someone that you trust and you can talk about these things with, and you know that person is going to respect your limits and respect your choices. And finally, don't give up if your first time is a fucking disaster. And I mean literally a fucking disaster. First times don't always go very well. I'm having some warlike flashbacks right about now. So I'm going to climb down off my soapbox. I know this was a little bit more passionate of a video than I usually make, but this question has been a long time coming on this channel, and I wanted to make sure I at least tried to do it justice. So as usual, if you guys have any questions for future videos, you can leave them in the comment section, or you can send me a message at cupofjoeshow.com. I will see you guys Wednesday. There is a really weird noise outside, and I finally figured out that it is birds chirping. I usually film these videos at like midnight, so I'm not used to all of these nature sounds happening to me.